Hi there, I'm Keith. I'm a middle-aged white businessman wearing a black jumper and blue-rimmed glasses and a pink shirt underneath, and you're very welcome to this video. I was talking to a couple of academics at a networking meeting earlier on. We were talking about mentoring. I'm a strong proponent and believer in mentoring. I mentor lots of sales professionals who've been in the industry 10, 15, 20, sometimes 25 years. But on this particular instance, I was mentoring a graduate who's not quite graduated in doing business and management at Birmingham City Business School. End of their second year, just going into their final year. And I was told by this academic that runs the mentoring program, I want to thank you so much. It's very giving of you to spend so much time with our graduates and be giving of all that experience that you've got. And whilst that is true, it does take time, but it's time that I get an awful lot from. It's not a one-way exercise. And what I mean by that is it's not just a matter of me being the wise old man, so to speak, giving forth my wisdom to a young person. Some of my clients are employed, are young people themselves, and are employed by larger organisations. And I got to tell you, I learn just as much from them as I hope they learn from me. Now, you can ask, how can that be? Well, here's an example. I'm building, having a new website built for me, for Sales Marvel, for our sales mentoring services and our LinkedIn lead generation and all of that, and that's all well and good. But I asked my mentee, this second year graduate going into his final year with Birmingham City University, and I asked them to give me some feedback on the beta version of our website, and I told them in advance, these are the things, the benefits of coming with us, investing time and money with Sales Marvel, and what do you think? And the mentee was courageous enough, had the temerity, you might say, to say, actually, do you know what, Keith? You think your website says this, but actually I don't receive it in that way. I'm perceiving that this is telling me different things, and it would be probably not right to give you too much detail around that, but just having that independent point of view from a mentee, someone a couple of generations younger than me, was incredibly insightful. And so as a result of me taking their feedback, and I've got to believe feedback comes from a good place, and I've provided, I hope, an atmosphere where this mentee feels confident enough to give an older person some direct feedback. That's going to enable me to just sharpen up some sales messages, stuff that I thought I was pretty good at before, but I'm now going to be able to kind of really zero in on the target market, which are graduates and students in this particular instance. So back to the original networking kind of event that BCU or Birmingham City Business School were kind enough to put on. It is not a one-way street. It's not just about us mentors spouting forth our wisdom to the mentees who are kind of sat there a little bit Labrador-like, lapping it all up. Some of that is true, that's true, and you're always going to find some mentors that are in transmit mode, but for me it's a two-way learning experience, and I wish more universities would bring on people like me from the outside and get them involved. A couple of reasons, I think. First of all, it keeps us current in terms of being a mentor. It also provides much needed what I would call soft skills, employability skills. And what might they be? Well, first of all, I think those employability skills have changed since the pandemic, and I think that potential or employment candidates, if you like, need to be able to understand what it takes to be on time for a meeting, on time for a video meeting at least. And that means setting up the technology beforehand and having those disciplines, setting up technology so that you don't get caught short. You click on Zoom and before you know it, it wants to do an update and it results in you being 2 minutes late for the meeting. And I've got to tell you, if you're 2 minutes late for a meeting in the background that I come from in investment banking, you know, that's a no-no. So get those soft skills and getting the tech right, that's really, really important. The ability to conduct an interview over video and knowing where to look, that's really important as well, because here's a specific instance, okay? This is me looking at you or looking at the screen in front of me, thinking that I'm looking at the person on the other end of the screen, thinking that I'm making eye contact, because that's what you would do in real life. But actually that's not the case. When you're on a video call, you need to be looking into the camera lens. And the camera lens is going to be probably at the top of the screen somewhere. On an iPhone, it's going to be denoted by a little green dot. So this is me looking into the camera lens right now, and that's the way that I'm able to deliver a message really impactfully, looking you directly in the eye, delivering that message. And there's a much greater chance of that message landing with you by me looking directly into the camera like that. There's a much better chance of successfully landing that message than there is by me attempting to land the message by looking down here. Now it feels a bit weird at first. It does feel a bit weird at first, because when you're looking into the camera lens, you can only see the other person in your peripheral vision, not in their core vision. So you have to you have to get comfortable knowing that that's the case, that they're there. But you've also got to get comfortable knowing that you are looking into the camera lens and you are in fact looking them directly in the eye, and it makes such a difference. So once again, this is you looking at the other person on the screen, and this is you looking into the camera, looking them directly in the eye, and that's if you can master that, that's going to set you out from the crowd, and that's going to really make an impact with your interviewer on a video call. All right, so that's lesson number one. Lesson number two, lesson number one is turning up on time and having the discipline to turn up at least 2 or 3 minutes early for the call, and then you won't get into trouble just in case there's a last minute sort of reboot or new version of Zoom or Teams or whatever it happens to be. So that's kind of important. Okay, lesson 2, looking people in the eye when you need to land the message. That's very, very important. And lesson 3 is knowing how to wind up your meeting. If it's a job interview, asking for feedback. What do they think? Are there any areas that they have concerns with? That's always a good one to flush out, if you like. Asking the interviewer if they have any concerns with your performance of that interview. Did you answer all the questions correctly, as they would have hoped? Or, so am I, what was expected? Or did I miss out any information? Were there any gaps? And would you like to take this time to, fill in those gaps, so to speak? And then a conversation around, okay, we've had the meeting, started on time, all of those things. What are the next steps? What's going to happen next after we shut this meeting down now? What are we going to do? Okay, and who's going to do what, and when are they going to do it? And make sure you clarify those things before you hang up or end the call for all people. Vitally important. Okay, brilliant. So, listen, I hope that's been useful. Hit like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop me a comment if there are any questions you've got about this, about meetings, about mentoring, or even being a mentee, how to get the most out of that experience. And subscribe to the channel. So thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you again on another video really, really soon. Thank you. Bye now.